Imagine you're selling bacon. It's the best bacon ever. It's crispy and it smells amazing. And everybody that passes by your cart go like, oh my God, gotta have this bacon. The best. I don't know what good bacon is, but assuming, and you put that bacon in a farmer's market for vegans, how are your sales going to be? You're probably going to be more that guy than that guy. And the story actually came up because I'm Jewish, I don't eat bacon. My son's dad is Catholic, he eats bacon. And when my son was 5 years old, I picked him up from his dad and we're driving and he's in the back seat and he starts crying. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I am mad at God. And I'm like, mad at God? Why? And he's like, because bacon is so good and he doesn't let you eat it. And that's really what's happening with our products. It's so good. We're trying to give it to everybody and we don't even stop to say like, hey, do you eat bacon? So make sure that you're not selling bacon to vegans. If you focus on that, just that, and your mission is to just specific problem to one specific person, you're first going to be like, is the person I'm talking to, are they vegan or are they bacon eater? If they're vegan, nothing for me to talk about my product, my bacon, regardless of how good and smelly it is. So does that resonate? Because we're going to take this analogy and we're going to continue with that of how to create the content that matters. And look at B. One specific problem, she just helps people with their marriage. That's it. $300,000 a month, not a year. So when we work on this together, we create our avatar, our ICP, who we're talking to, making sure they're not vegan. And we actually put a face to her. Why? Because it's so much easier to look at this beautiful face. You look at her and you're like, oh, I want to help you. Right? What's your problem? Let me help you with your problem. When we're talking to faceless followers and email subscribers and all that stuff, it's very easy to switch from I want to help to like buy my shit. We don't want to do that. So we're using AI to create a picture of our avatar. And here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the problems and the symptoms that they have. Remember, one specific problem, the myth that doesn't work, the belief in the market that don't work. An example would be drop shipping. I went to visit my family in Israel and my sister-in-law goes like, oh, there's this amazing thing, you just create a book on Canva and you put it on Amazon and then you wake up with $1 million in your bank account. She watched a 30-second video on drop shipping books that Amazon is going to print and sell it for you. But if you actually know what goes into all of that, the marketing, the books, the covers, all the other stuff, it's not just like, just create it on Canva and put it out there. So you have your insider's tips to what's happening in your market and what people are talking about that is not really the real thing. Talk about that in your content. Let Sarah know that, hey, drop shipping is a little bit more complicated than what this TikTok guy is trying to see. That builds trust. You're going to talk about your core values. In my world, for me, for example, give credit where credit is due is a biggie. Don't build your home on rented properties. If you know me, you know that stuff. So talk about the things that you believe that sets you apart from other people. And then finally, why you, your testimonials, your case studies, your reviews, your success stories, only the things that you're doing. So these are the things that you can talk about to start building your thought leadership in the market. Now, how do we get into Sarah's world? There are 3 levels. First of all, Sarah needs to know that we even exist. That's called awareness. She needs to know that there's a solution out there to one of her problems. We have to talk about that stuff. If you never talk about it, nobody will ever know. So for example, did you know that we can work on this and dive deep into each and every step of what we're sharing here right now, and together build your client persona, their pain, their frustrations, and turn that into content in 5 days? Sarah didn't know either. Up until today, you had no idea. So I have to talk about this more in order for people to be aware that, hey, something like that is happening. After I talk about that and people are aware that there's this thing, then I need to move to consideration. You need to see me as the solution to what you're trying to achieve. Sarah needs to see you as the solution to what you're trying to achieve. This is where your values, testimonials, case studies come in. And then lastly, help her make a decision. Don't make it so hard to give you money. There's so many people that make people jump through hoops to just give them money. Here's the PayPal. This is where you click. This is where you do it. Here's the transaction. Make it super easy to make a decision. Maybe put a guarantee, right? Like Amazon. If anything happens, you're safe. The risk is minimized. So as we're working on this, with AI to help us do it. Here are 2 prompts that you can use right now to have AI help you bring all the problems that are happening in Sarah's mind very quickly. And it is, I help your client with your specific solution. So one specific problem, one specific person, one specific solution. I help describe Sarah. She's struggling with conversions with your specific solution, 5-day challenge. Generate 5 common problems that they face, 5 myths that they might believe about your industry for each stage of the buyer journey: awareness, consideration, decision. That will give you things to talk about. But we can take it even deeper and dive into what keeps Sarah up at night. Give me 20 commonly used phrases that people use when describing their frustration with marketing, branding, whatever it is, that Sarah echoes in her own head. I prefer using Claude than ChatGPT. I find that it gives better content, but look at that. I'm spinning my wheels, but not getting any traction. Everyone seems to be an expert these days. How do I stand out? Don't you feel like that when you go to LinkedIn, everybody's a CEO? I'm doing all the right things, but my conversion rates are still flat. Am I just shouting into the void? I feel like I'm always playing catch up with the latest trends. How do I turn my knowledge into real influence? I'm spread too thin trying to be everywhere at once. Can any one of you resonate with anything that's on here? Is that like some of the thoughts that may be going through your head? Why can't I crack the code on viral content? I'm investing so much time. Where's the ROI? I feel like an imposter compared to the thought leaders in my space. Yeah. It's only because they know how to fake it better. How do I bridge the gap between likes and actual leads? I would not be able to sit down and write all these things on my own to know what to talk about to my ideal clients. This is where AI comes in. So we have the list. How do we talk about it?